Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope we're doing great today. Happy Saturday. Big college football slate. A lot of good matchups. Be sure to like and subscribe. Check out all my betting links in the description below to get in on the action. Go ahead, turn on those notification bells. And yeah, we'll hop in it. Big college slate today. Starting with Kansas State versus Texas. Texas opening up as a 4-point home favorite with the over-under at 49.5. Kansas State coming into this matchup 6-2. Texas 7-1. Head-to-head, Texas is 8-2. 6-4 covering the spread. The over's hit in 3 out of the last 10 head-to-head meetings. Kansas State on a 3-game winning streak, coming off a 41-0 win against Houston. That was a big win. Blowing out Houston like that. Texas coming off a big BYU win, 35-6. Kansas State 0-6 head-to-head against Texas. They have not been able to beat Texas in many years. Texas currently 5-0 at home. They're playing good. Murphy at quarterback looked pretty good last week. Team played well, obviously, while Quinn Ewers is out. And I like the Longhorns in this spot. I think they can get the win at home, and I'll take Longhorns -4 on money line here. Next matchup, we got Notre Dame versus Clemson. Notre Dame opening up as a 3-point road favorite with the over-under at 44. Notre Dame going into this matchup 7-2. Clemson 4-4. Head-to-head, Clemson is 3-2 in those 5 head-to-head meetings. Don't see any major injuries here. Notre Dame coming off a big Pitt win, 58-7. Clemson on a 2-game losing streak, coming off an NC State loss. Notre Dame 12-1 against the ACC, where they've been very good, especially in conference play. They're 8-2 covering the spread on the road, so they've been very good covering on the road here. Just don't love what I've been seeing from Clemson. They're not the Clemson we usually know every year. I'm gonna buy a 0.5 point. Give me Notre Dame -2.5 and money line on the road. Next matchup, we got Ohio State versus Rutgers. Ohio State opening up as an 18.5-point road favorite with the over-under at 42.5. Ohio State coming into this matchup 8-0. Rutgers 6-2. Head-to-head, Ohio State's 9-0. 6-2-1 covering the spread. Ohio State coming off a Wisconsin win, 24-10. Rutgers on a 2-game winning streak, coming off an Indiana win. Ohio State, they're 9-0 against Rutgers. 5-0 on the road. I mean, they've been very good covering as well. 6-2-1 covering against the Rutgers. Yeah, it's hard for me to bet against Ohio State. It really is. I know Rutgers, they've played well, but, haven't played Ohio State. And up against Michigan, they lost 31-7. I feel like it could be a similar style of score there. So give me Ohio State -18.5 and money line on the road. Next matchup, we got Texas A&M versus Ole Miss. Ole Miss opening up as a 3-point home favorite with the over-under at 54. Texas A&M coming into this matchup 5-3. Ole Miss 7-1. Head-to-head, Ole Miss has won 2 out of the last 3 head-to-head meetings. A&M coming off a South Carolina win. Ole Miss on a 4-game winning streak, coming off a big Vanderbilt win. A&M currently is 0-8 on the road. They've been very bad on the road here. And Ole Miss 5-0 at home. Yeah, just not the same Texas A&M team we've been seeing the last few years. They just aren't that great. And Ole Miss has been very good. Going to buy a 0.5 point. Give me Ole Miss -2.5 and money line at home. Next matchup, we got UConn versus Tennessee. Tennessee opening up as a 36-point home favorite with the over-under at 55. UConn coming into this matchup 1-7. Tennessee 6-2. Head-to-head, these teams have never played each other. UConn, on a 2-game losing streak. I mean, they're just absolutely horrible this year. Tennessee coming off a big Kentucky win. UConn 1-4 against the SEC. They're 2-14 on the road, so not a good covering team. Not really that good of a team at all. And But I will say, so far, they've never lost a game by 36 points this season. So, Tennessee's been good, but they haven't put up any crazy numbers where they'd be dominating. Even their out-of-conference games, I mean, they beat UTSA 45-14. Got the cover there. Austin PA, I mean, they didn't even cover against Austin PA. I think I'm going to take a shot with UConn plus 36 on the road. It's just a very big number. Next matchup, we got Arizona State versus Utah. Utah opening up as an 11-point home favorite with the over-under at 40. Arizona State coming into this matchup 2-6. Utah 6-2. Head-to-head, Utah's 3-0. 3-0 covering the spread. Arizona State coming off a Washington State win. Utah coming off just a rough Oregon loss, 35-6. Arizona State, though, they are 1-4 covering against Utah on the road. 2-5 straight up against Utah. I think this is a big bounce back game for Utah at home, coming off an embarrassing loss against Oregon. And I think they get back on track here at home, and I'm going to take Utah minus 11 in money line in this one. Next matchup, we got Army versus Air Force. Air Force opening up as an 18-point home favorite with the over-under at 32.5. Army coming into this matchup 2-6. Air Force 8-0. Head-to-head, Air Force is 6-4 in those meetings. The over is just 1-9 in the last 10 head-to-head meetings. These games are always an under kind of atmosphere. Army on a 5-game losing streak, coming off a 14-21 loss against UMass. The 2 games prior, they were held to 0 points against LSU and 0 points against Troy. And then Air Force 8-0. I mean, the greatest team I think I've ever seen from Air Force. This is unbelievable what they're doing, coming off a big Colorado State win. This is a very good Air Force team, and love what I'm seeing from them. Kind of hard to bet against them, and it's a very high spread, but this Air Force team can put up a lot of points. And yeah, give me Air Force minus 18 in money line at home. Next matchup, we got Florida State versus Pittsburgh. Florida State opening up as a 21.5-point road favorite with the over-under at 50.5. Florida State coming into this matchup 8-0. Pittsburgh 2-6. Head-to-head, these teams have only played twice. They're both 1-1 in those meetings. Florida State undefeated, great season so far, coming off a big 41-16 win against Wake Forest. Coming off a 7-58 loss against Notre Dame. They're 1-6 in their last 7. This team really can't get a win here up against a really good Florida State team. They're 9-0 against the ACC, 5-0 on the road. Yeah, gonna roll Florida State. Gonna buy a point just because I don't like that line. Give me Florida State minus 20.5 money line on the road. Next matchup, we got James Madison versus Georgia State. James Madison opening up as a 5.5-point road favorite with the over-under at 53.5. James Madison coming into this matchup 8-0. Georgia State 6-2. Head-to-head, these teams have only played one time before. James Madison is 1-0. James Madison undefeated. I mean, what a season they're having, coming off a 3-point Old Dominion win. Georgia State coming off a tough Georgia Southern loss. James Madison, though, they're 8-0 against the Sun Belt, 5-0 on the road, 5-1 covering the spread. This is a very good James Madison team, and I'm going to roll with James Madison minus 5.5 in money line on the road. Next matchup, we got Missouri versus Georgia. Georgia opening up as a 15-point home favorite with the over-under at 55.5. Missouri coming into this matchup 7-1. Georgia 8-0. Head-to-head, Georgia is 9-1. They are just 3-7 covering the spread. This is going to be Georgia's biggest test of the season here. This is a very good Missouri team coming off a big South Carolina win. Georgia coming off a 23-point Florida win. Yeah, this will be the biggest test for Georgia up against Mizzou. Missouri 0-9 against Georgia, but they are 6-2 covering against Georgia. That's probably the most important stat there. Georgia 20-0 at home. We know how dominant they are at home. This is a very big number. I still like Georgia to win at home, so I'd probably throw them in some money line parlays. But 15 points, I don't know. I think that's too much. I think Missouri keeps it close. I'm going to take Missouri plus 15 on the road. Next matchup, we got Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State. Oklahoma opening up as a 6-point road favorite with the over-under at 62. Oklahoma coming into this matchup 7-1. Oklahoma State 6-2. Head-to-head, Oklahoma's 8-2. 7-2-1 covering the spread. We know Oklahoma coming off that bad Kansas loss 38-33. Oklahoma State on a 4-game winning streak, coming off a big Cincinnati win. Kind of stepped it up now. They had those losses early on, and then they've been picking it up on a 4-game winning streak here. But Oklahoma, they're 7-1 against Oklahoma State, 6-1-1 covering against Oklahoma State. So they've been very good against Oklahoma State here. I like Oklahoma coming off a tough loss against Kansas, and I'm going to take Oklahoma -6 in money line on the road. Next matchup, we got Penn State versus Maryland. Penn State opening up as an 8.5-point road favorite with the over-under at 50. Penn State coming into this matchup 7-1. Maryland 5-3. Head-to-head, Penn State is 7-2. 6-3 covering the spread. The over just hit in 2 out of the last 9 meetings. Penn State coming off a very tough Indiana win. Maryland on a 3-game losing streak, bad losing streak for Maryland, and it's going to be tough against this Penn State team here. Penn State 7-1 against Maryland, 6-1 covering against Maryland, so they've been very good against Maryland. Maryland 3-17 in November. They really just haven't got many wins in November, and yeah, I like Penn State here. Give me Penn State -8.5 in money line on the road. Next matchup, we got Tulane versus East Carolina. Tulane opening up as a 17-point road favorite with the over-under at 45.5. Tulane coming into this matchup 7-1. East Carolina 1-7. Head-to-head, Tulane 2-1 covering the spread in their last 3 head-to-head meetings. Tulane coming off a very close Rice win, 2-point Rice win. East Carolina, they're on a 4-game losing streak. Yeah, this is a very bad East Carolina team. Tulane 8-0 on the road, where they've been very good. And yeah, give me Tulane -17 in money line on the road. Next matchup, we got Virginia Tech versus Louisville. Louisville opening up as a 9.5-point home favorite with the over-under at 48.5. Virginia Tech coming into this matchup 4-4. Louisville 7-1. Head-to-head, Virginia Tech's 2-0. 2-0 covering the spread. The overs hit in each of those matchups. Virginia Tech on a 2-game winning streak, coming off a Syracuse win. Louisville coming off a big Duke win, 23-0. Nice win for them. They're 5-1 against the ACC right now. They're 9-0 covering at home. And I love what I saw from Louisville last week. And yeah, give me Louisville -9.5 in money line at home. Next matchup, we got California versus Oregon. Oregon opening up as a 24.5-point home favorite with the over-under at 59. California coming into this matchup 3-5. Oregon 7-1. Head-to-head, Oregon's 8-2. 6-4 covering the spread. Cal on a 3-game losing streak, coming off a 1-point USC loss. Oregon coming off a 35-6 win against Utah. Big win for Oregon. Cal 0-7 on the road against Oregon. 2-12 straight up against Oregon. They really struggled against them here. And yeah, give me Oregon -24.5 in money line at home. Next matchup, we got Kansas versus Iowa State. Iowa State opening up as a 2.5-point home favorite with the over-under at 53. Kansas coming into this matchup 6-2. Iowa State 5-3. Head-to-head, Iowa State's 8-2. 6-4 covering the spread. Don't see any major injuries here. Jalen Daniels is still questionable. We'll see if he ends up playing or if Bean's going to be the quarterback. Kansas coming off that big Oklahoma win. Iowa State on a 3-game winning streak, coming off a 12-point Baylor win. Kansas 0-7 on the road against Iowa State. They haven't been able to win on the road against Iowa State here, but I think Kansas should be favored here, honestly. So yeah, give me Kansas I'm going to buy a point. Give me Kansas plus 3.5 on the road. Next matchup, we got Purdue versus Michigan. Michigan opening up as a 33-point home favorite with the over-under at 53.5. Purdue coming into this matchup 2-6. Michigan 8-0. Head-to-head, Michigan's 8-2. 7-3 covering the spread. Purdue on a 3-game losing streak. 1-5 in their last 6. Yeah, and their losses, they've been held to like under 20 points. Last 3 games, they've only put up 14 points is their highest. Michigan coming off a 49-0 win against Michigan State. I mean, man, really good Michigan team. We know all this stuff that's going on with Michigan behind the scenes here. But yeah, Michigan 20-0 at home, 6-1 at home against Purdue. It's a big number. I just still can't bet against Michigan. I mean, coming off that 49-0 win against Michigan State. You know, they were 32.5 point against Indiana. They covered that. Yeah, give me Michigan minus 33 at home. Throw them in a teaser. Throw them in some parlays. Next matchup, we got Washington versus USC. Washington opening up as a 3-point road favorite with the over-under at 76.5. Washington coming into this matchup 8-0. USC 7-2. Head-to-head, USC is 6-4. The over's just 1-8-1 in the last 10 head-to-head meetings. Washington coming off a big Stanford win. USC coming off a 1-point Cal win, which they really should have lost. Washington 6-0 on the road right now. They've been bad against USC, but I don't think we've seen what USC is. This USC defense is very bad, and Washington should be able to throw and run all over them all game long. Give me a 0.5 point. Give me Washington minus 2.5 and money line on the road. Next matchup, we got LSU versus Alabama. Bama opening up as a 3-point home favorite with the over-under at 61.5. LSU coming into this matchup 6-2. Bama 7-1. Head-to-head, Bama is 8-2. 5-4-1 covering the spread. LSU on a 3-game winning streak, coming off a big Army win 62-0. Bama coming off a Tennessee win 34-20. LSU 2-10 against Bama. Haven't been able to beat Bama. 1-5 on the road against Bama here. Bama 19-1 at home, where they really don't lose. And yeah, I think it's going to be tough for LSU. I think Bama still comes out with it and beat them like they always do. I'm going to take by the 0.5 point. Give me Bama minus 2.5 and money line at home. Next matchup, we got Oregon State versus Colorado. Oregon State opening up as a 13.5 point road favorite with the over-under at 62. Oregon State coming into this matchup 6-2. Colorado 4-4. Head-to-head, Oregon State's 2-1. 2-1 covering the spread. Oregon State coming off a 3-point Arizona loss. Colorado on a 2-game losing streak coming off a UCLA loss. Oregon State, they're 2-4 against Colorado. You know, that coming off that loss to Arizona, that definitely hurts. And I'm going to buy a point. I think this is a game Oregon State or Colorado can definitely cover. I know it's kind of disappointing for Colorado so far. I don't know. They're catching Oregon State coming off an Arizona loss. I'm going to buy a point. Give me Colorado plus 14.5 at home. Then the last matchup, we got UCLA versus Arizona. UCLA opening up as a 3-point road favorite with the over-under at 50. UCLA coming into this matchup 6-2. Arizona 5-3. Head-to-head, UCLA 7-3. 6-3-1 covering the spread. UCLA on a 2-game winning streak, coming off a Colorado win. Arizona coming off an Oregon State and Washington State win. And then you lost to USC by 2. This is a very good Arizona team. Lost by Washington to a touchdown. I mean, man, they've had some close losses. And I like Arizona. They've showed that they can play with pretty much anyone in the Pac-12. And I'll buy a 0.5 point. Give me Arizona plus 3.5 at home. That's going to be it for the video. Good luck with your picks and parlays on Saturday. Hope you guys all cash out, and I'll see you guys Sunday. Have a good one.